America, everyday people stand united, ready to replace decades of broken politics with a new leader who's not a part of the system, Donald Trump.
Question is that going to be effective after what we've seen over the last 16, 17 months? Joining me now, Matt Schlapp, chairman of the American Conservative Union and a Trump surrogate. Matt, thanks for being here.
Thanks for asking.
Let me pull up this new battleground poll that NBC News has out today, showing that Trump would have to flip Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania in order to get to 270, even if he wins everything else. So which of those three states does he have the best shot, do you think?
I'm looking at Pennsylvania and Wisconsin of those three that he has the best shot in. There was a new battleground poll in Virginia that shows Clinton with a pretty good sized lead, but there's been some other polls in Virginia that show that shrinking. So I still would also kind of put Virginia in those four states that are critical for him to get a couple victories in.
I would just, he's barely spending any money in Virginia at this point.
Right.
You're looking at a state like Wisconsin, which has voted Democratic since 1988. Clinton's got a comfortable lead in Michigan. PA, we're looking at the new poll out, but couldn't you argue that these are Hail Marys at best?
Well, I was on the presidential campaign for George W. Bush in 2000, and I had Wisconsin, and we ended up losing that in a very narrow margin. As people were focusing on Florida as they should have been, I was really focused on Wisconsin and the fact that it was tight. So was Iowa tight that year as well. And obviously, Scott Walker has had great success in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin has elected other Republicans to statewide offices like Ron Johnson, who's up this time. So I think Wisconsin gives us a real shot. But Michigan gives us a shot as well. Michigan's had great displacement in the auto industry and in manufacturing. They've had this terrible controversy with the water supply in Flint, and I think a lot of people in Michigan are just discouraged with the way politics has played out for them in their lives. And I think Donald Trump is smart to end this campaign talking about the fact that he really wants to upset the order of things. He wants to upset Washington. I think it'll play in these states that have a lot of economic dislocation problems.
I am going to pull up Matt, pause here because we were just seeing a tweet now from Marquette University, the poll we've been waiting for, the Marquette Law poll out of Wisconsin, showing Clinton leading Trump among likely voters in Wisconsin, 46% to 40%. So she has a fairly healthy 6-point lead. We're going to bring in a couple of folks to talk about this, but give me your initial reaction. You say, wow. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I think it's a real problem for Hillary Clinton. She can't get to anything in the 50. She wants to put these states away by getting to the 50% mark. That's the critical juncture if it's something that you would consider a purple or a blue state.
Sure, but Trump's still down by 6, Matt.
Yeah, so that's right. But you want to look at the trend. You want to get inside the poll and get beyond just this ballot measure. You want to see where you are in your key demographics. And my estimation would be, and I'd want to look at the poll in depth, but I'm just looking at this tweet like you are, is my estimation is that this demonstrates once again why Hillary Clinton is going to spend money in Wisconsin, while she will probably spend time either there herself or with surrogates in Wisconsin, because if she can put this away, it's awfully important. And she hasn't been able to yet.
But I have to tell you, I am not sure that this is what the Trump campaign wanted to see. I talked to a top source in your campaign today, and the sense was that Michigan and Pennsylvania was where they probably had a better shot than a place like Wisconsin. And I would just wonder if this polling confirms that. You can see it up. As we look at this is Pennsylvania and Michigan today, as we look at a couple of other battlegrounds. But if you talk about this new Wisconsin poll, let me tell you, Clinton led Trump, according to Marquette, back in October by 7 points. She now holds, according to the new poll out today, she now holds a 6-point lead. This is the last poll in Wisconsin from Marquette, the gold standard poll prior to Election Day. Let me just tick through the rest of the numbers for you here. Gary Johnson is at 4%, Jill Stein at 3%. Marquette notes that Johnson's support is down just a little bit as the election gets closer. But I got to wonder, when you look at a poll like this showing him down 6, that is a fairly significant percentage. We're going to bring in Bob Costa here in a second, who spent some time in Wisconsin and has a piece out today looking at this blue-leaning battleground that Trump wants to play in. If you're advising the campaign, Matt, at this point, do you say, all right, forget Wisconsin, forget going to Eau Claire like he did yesterday. We're going to focus on PA, Michigan, as well as the other must-win states for him, places like Florida, places like Iowa, North Carolina, Ohio?
No, I think he's doing the right thing by visiting Michigan and Wisconsin. I think the poll in Pennsylvania shows that he ought to continue to spend time in Pennsylvania as well. I think the campaign is on the right trajectory. I mean, not too many days and weeks ago, Hillary Clinton was talking about tipping Arizona and being competitive in Texas. She's no longer talking like that. She realizes that she has to go bring back these states that they were hoping were a foregone conclusion. So you always like ending a presidential election competing in states that you didn't necessarily have as part of your equation in the beginning. So that always shows a positive momentum side, and that's positive for Donald Trump.
All right, Matt Schlapp, thank you very much. Although we will note in some of those other key battlegrounds, Trump still trailing Clinton in places like Florida. But Matt, thank you for your perspective.
And up in others.
That's fair. That's fair.